let's see, we're going to go over just some of the features of the app. So we'll see, how you can log in using a QR code, how to make appointments, the social wall. And I'm just going to go through it briefly because I think we're going to have a live demo from Chad right after me. So just kind of go and point out some of the things. One of the things that I know we've gotten some questions and support and things like that, or how to log in when you have a single sign-on, because it asks for your, I believe, email and your password, which would be your Accudemia password. So in your admin menu, and actually that's another good point. The app is actually used by tutors and students. So if you're an admin, you'd have to have one of those roles as well to kind of see that login happen. It should actually tell you that it's not really made to log in an admin account, but if it doesn't, I'm just letting you know. So, but in the menu of your personal options here in the top right, you would actually click on the little phone icon that we've put up there. When you do, you'll get kind of a login with a QR code. Now, of course, you'll have to download the app from the App Store. It's just literally the name Accudemia. So when you're looking for it, if you put in the name Accudemia, it will pop up in the Apple App Store. By the way, we are working on an Android version that should come out in the next coming months. So look forward to seeing that. But once you have that downloaded and installed, there's going to be some options presented to you. You can use the username and password, which is your traditional like Accudemia login. But if you're using single sign-on, you will have to use like another device and have that open, and then use a second option that says QR code. Once you do, it comes and brings up the camera real quick, and you can scan that QR code. I know it kind of jumped really quick, but once you scan that, it's going to say hello, your name, and have all these different options here for you. So that's that process. Okay, and here we have the next thing. If you actually look at I'm going to go back to the previous slide. On the bottom, you have your kind of main menu here, and what all the students and tutors that use this app can do. So one of the first modules here is that appointments. When you click on that, uh, it should take you through the normal appointment process. So you'll see like step 1, step 2, 3, and all the way to the end. And you'll just start off by clicking, there's like a little calendar icon on there, and going through all of your normal process. And this will use all the rules that you've set up in your control panel for your appointments that you would do online through the app. And basically have all the same kind of functionality. So you should see that as you're going through all the restrictions and rules that you have in place, and as well as like the schedules that you have up there and available. Once they get to this point, they're gonna pick their time slot and add any notes before saving and completing that process. And it will email everybody involved, like the tutor and the students, just as it would, through the website. The next section is the social wall. And when you get to that section, this is the first screen you kind of see. It's usually just a feed of all the channels that you've subscribed to. And we have a few options on the top. You can either browse the channels using the first icon, you can search for the channels, or you could even create your own. So whichever way you want to go about that. Once you get there, there's things like you can comment on existing comments, you can post your own. There'll be like a little icon to do that, and chat will show you. And then you can also just post as well. We've kind of gone through this in other webinars, so I won't go too much into it, but there's different types of channels as well. You can have public channels that are available to everyone at the school and even outside of the school. You can have more of the private channels that are just like groups that you add to the system. Could be based on a class, it could be for your center. So we can explore those and see what those are. let me go ahead, and the last section is to check notifications. So the notifications are pretty cool. Basically just a listing of anything that you were involved in. So if you were part of a feed or a channel that had comments added to it, if you made appointments, basically anything that could have happened through the app, that's going to be, or a fourth section here is the notifications. And if I click on those, I'll get the option to view more details. So I can actually see like a quick summary, but then let's say they posted a picture or something, I could click on that and see the full post on the feed itself. So, this is a good way to kind of keep track of, if it did accept, and maybe I missed the appointment confirmation. I wanted to make sure that those were confirmed. Also, the last option is really just kind of like a menu with a lot of other options that you can do. So while you're exploring on that bottom bar, that last option, you can have a main menu kind of in a way where you can go back to all those sections what we're at, but also there's things like pending surveys. So if you had any surveys that you had to take, those usually are initiated when a tutor or a student signs into the center. But it can also be initiated just by logging into the app or logging into the website. So however your surveys are set up to go out, and you can collect different kinds of information, doing that. They also have an option in here as a student to kind of see what your class schedule looks like, as well as like the history for them coming to the centers and visits and things like that. Of course, we do have documentation. It should take them to the students section if they're a student, or tutors if they're a tutor, and the ability to log out.